Dreams. Most of us begin life having a dream state and a waking state. And we believe that they are two different states. For all practical purposes, they are. And we distinguish that by the fact that most of the time when we have dreams in our early life, or maybe for some people always, there is a discontinuation from the dream, and when you're in your waking state, you have a hard time recalling the dream. I remember as a child I had very vivid dreams that would frighten me, dreams that would bring me anxiety, and dreams that would bring me pleasure. But as I said, I would have these dreams, and then they'd go away, and I'd wake up, and I'd remember something about the dreams, but I couldn't recall them. I'd have to work real hard to try and bring the dream back to my conscious mind. So the two states were separate. So I wondered what dreams were all about. I remember reading a story about this young prince who one day had a dream and he ran. When he woke up, he got up and he ran to his father and he said, "Dad, I just had a dream, and I dreamed I was a butterfly. And I flew around and did what butterflies do, and I visited flowers, and I pollinated, or whatever butterflies do." It was a longer description, but in the end he said, "And then I woke up, and I couldn't determine which is a dream, the dream state or the waking state, which one was real." And that interested me. So I started studying about dreams. And the first bit of information I came across was Freud. And his interpretation of dreams was that the content of dreams is manufactured from the subconscious, or the storehouse of data that we have within ourselves. So that when you dream, everything that the dream is made of comes from within you. Even the people in your dreams, you create them to represent different aspects of your subconscious, different things that may be on your mind in the waking state that you have trouble grasping or putting together. So when you go to sleep, you create these dreams to help you work out the problem, to see what's going on at the deeper part of you. And Freud would take these dreams and ask more questions about them, which further revealed more about the individuals. It wasn't clear to me that this is what his analysis of the dream was until I had to read other corresponding philosophies that basically said the same thing. So in my present state of awareness and understanding now, well, let me regress. When I used to dream, I used to be in the dreams as an observer, when sometimes I was the focus of the dream. But I never saw myself in the dream. I would always, if I was the observer, I was always just watching, like I used to think of God. God was outside of me, thinking, watching, and observing me, and being aware of me. But I was always distinct from God. And that's the way I was in my dreams. I was outside of what was going on. I was observing everything, unless, of course, I was the point of focus. And then the dream was happening to me, in the dream. And those were the moments of pleasure and anxiety and frustration and fear. Otherwise, I would have dreams where I was watching people do certain things and say certain things and whatever. But at all times, I was the observer and that which is being observed, and I didn't, until I became more aware and understanding, I didn't realize that. But when I began to realize that, then the power of the dreams became less. It had less effect on me. And I could see it as a play I was creating, and I could understand it to try and understand what was going on with inside of me. Now, when I have dreams, I still am the observer. And this morning's dream, and the last few dreams that I've had, now, when I have them, the transition between the dream state and the waking state isn't as severe. It's almost as if it was a thin veil, and I go directly from the dream to consciousness, and I'm still having the dream. Parts of me are still in the dream, and now parts of me are in the waking state, which is cool as far as I'm concerned, because I realize that the waking state is like the dream state. I'm creating it from my insides, my storehouse of data, and with this understanding, I can deal with my world, my creation, more objectively. I'm not as affected by it. I don't have to react to it. I can act towards it. I can experience my life with more control. Now, to further add to this, there is a state that was introduced as the afterlife state. And I learned about this through studying Tibetan yoga, Tibetan Buddhism. And they have a state called the Bardo. And what happens is they believe the Bardo is like a dream state, whereas you have no body, but you can go anywhere you want. And you interact with what is known as the 100 peaceful and wrathful deities. And the peaceful and wrathful deities are actually representations of your subconscious. And so you'll meet these different aspects of your subconscious, and if you are not aware that they are also a part of you, you'll act and react to them accordingly to you would as if you were acting and reacting to somebody in the waking state. And in the Bardo, if you react to them without awareness and understanding, you regress and you go back into the waking state again, or life. You reincarnate. But there is no difference between the waking state, the dream state, or the afterlife state. If you evolve in your awareness and understanding,